Okay, it says I'm live, so hey, I guess I am. Heart's beating, breath's moving, mind is working. Yeah, I must be alive. That's kind of what I want to talk about today, but let's say hi to everyone who's here this morning and welcome. If this is your first time at this particular community meditation, welcome back if you've been here before from all around the world. So, good morning or good evening or good afternoon, wherever you might be. All the way from Sweden, we have Wales represented here today, Venice, California. San Jose, New York, Sacramento. We're all over the place. Hello, Kathy Fong. Good to see you. Dina, you are in West Virginia, I believe, right? Yeah, as we say here in these here United States. Well, hello, and it's really a pleasure to be here hosting the meditation for the Center for Mindful Living, the Mindful Living Collective. We do this voluntarily. The teachers step in, and rotate every Sunday. If you're interested in a voluntary offering, um, here is the PayPal information. This does not go to the teachers, or at least I don't take any of it. This goes to scholarship funds and so forth to help people access the Center for Mindful Living and the Meditation Collective. Hi, Houston. Good to see you. All right. So today, the theme that I've chosen is the pause that refreshes. And I'm probably dating myself because I remember when Coca-Cola had that particular slogan, Coca-Cola, the pause that refreshes. And it would show these people, upending these bottles of Coke and all that stuff. So that, I guess, is somewhat refreshing. I don't drink Coca-Cola anymore, but I can remember it being kind of a fun thing to do. What I was going to suggest today, though, is at any moment during our daily life, we can actually pause. We can notice what's happening. We can see what we are seeing. We can hear what we are hearing. We can taste what we are tasting. And on it goes. We can think what we are thinking. When we do this, it enlivens the mind just a little bit. And Thich Nhat Hanh would say that when we arrive in the present moment in this way, it is a refreshing experience. It's a refreshing moment because it does refresh the mind. Because for so often during our days, our minds are just on an automatic pilot setting, just running through the default mode network. It's kind of dull. It's kind of, I don't really know what I'm thinking. I don't really know what I'm seeing or what I'm smelling or what I'm tasting or how I'm talking to somebody. I'm not really feeling myself breathing or my body being alive. And we get used to this. And then when we interrupt that default mode network, then we refresh. It's like refreshing a screen on a computer. There's a moment where things enliven. And if you find yourself in a moment of dullness, tiredness, whatever it might be, take a breath, feel that breath, touch what you are touching, smell what you are smelling. This is a beautiful moment. And when we just pause for that moment, and experience these seemingly inconsequential experiences, they become very special and life becomes extraordinary for those few moments. I'm not suggesting that we're all going to be able to do this 24/7. I think we have to just keep refreshing when we remember to do so. Step out of that automatic pilot. Switch on mindful awareness. See what happens in your day when you do this. It may actually have some very significant and dramatic results. So let's do a practice today where we're going to pause, put it on pause, okay? We're going to give ourselves permission to just stop and be here, see what happens. Not trying to get anywhere, not trying to reach any particular states, but just to be here with what's happening. And you can be sitting or reclining. Your eyes can stay open or they can close. You can open them anytime you need to or shift your position if you have to. Perfectly okay. We'll be done at 30 minutes past the hour, and then we'll have some time for maybe some chatting in, sharing your experiences, whatever it might be. So let's begin, shall we? Really hear this ring of the bell. That's the pause that refreshes. And so settling into whatever you are sitting or lying on, feel the connecting points where you touch whatever you're sitting or lying on. Feeling the clothing on your skin. This is all it takes. If you encounter any tightness or tension here, become aware of that. Bring your feeling awareness to these places, allowing them to soften, to let go a bit. The body may be tired or hungry or enlivened, caffeinated. We're just pausing for a moment to notice what is. This is how things are right now. Perhaps the mind is full of thoughts. You may be bringing something to the practice that has happened to you recently, or that you are thinking about what's going to happen. It's not about getting rid of any of these thoughts. It's not about quieting the mind. It's just about noticing, oh, this is how it is right now. And when we take that pause and we notice what the mind is thinking, how the mind is thinking, the state of mind, when we do this, it actually interrupts the default mode network that's constantly churning out thoughts. It doesn't eradicate thoughts. It just brings the mind to the present moment experience. We can offer the mind an object of attention, a sensory experience in which to rest our awareness. It could be the sensations in your hands or sounds in your world. It could be the sensations of breathing. And these are the same objects of attention that we can use in our daily life to pause, to hear the sounds we're hearing, to feel what the hands are touching, to feel a breath coming in, a breath going out. Breathing in, I have arrived. Breathing out, I am home. Now, the mind will not really allow us to spend much time with our connecting point, the sounds, the sensations in the hands, the breath, because the mind thinks it always has to be on alert and vigilant. And so, fairly soon, the default mode network is going to start up again. And it starts very quietly. And eventually, before we know it, we're lost in thought. Now, this is not a mistake. We haven't done anything wrong. This is just what the mind does. And now we have a chance to practice what we can do in daily life. We can notice, oh, I've been on automatic pilot. And in that moment of noticing, you are present again. You've put it on pause. And then you can invite your attention, your feeling awareness back to the breath or the hands or the sounds. And here you'll dwell for a while until, of course, the mind drifts away again, and then we'll notice, and that's the awareness piece we're mindful again, and so forth. And we can just keep inviting ourselves back. And this is how we practice the pause that refreshes. And so we'll continue practicing together through a long period of silence. as we continue, we're not trying to hold the mind in one place. We're not trying to force the mind to be in the present moment. We are inviting the mind to pay attention to what is happening, some sensory experience, but we are not forcing it, not bearing down or straining, not striving. Because the mind is eventually going to break free anyway. The point is not to hold the mind on some object, but to know when the mind has gone into autopilot, to learn to awaken in that moment and invite the attention back to some present moment experience. And so we'll continue again, practicing together in silence. And of course, taking all the time you need in whatever way you need to transition from the practice, maybe a stretch or a cup of tea. So, again, you're invited to take this practice with you, to begin to experience and live your practice, not as a discrete experience that happens for 30 minutes on a cushion or a bench or a chair or whatever it might be, but something that continues through your day. And what we're learning in the practice is how at any moment we can become present. And even a few seconds of that becoming present can refresh the mind, can kind of recharge us a little bit, and if nothing else, can help us see what's actually happening and experience what's actually happening and not what the mind is telling us is happening. And that's where most of our distress comes from, is that we believe what the mind is telling us is happening, and it may not be true. For those of you who have to leave, thank you for being here. For those of you who would like to stay, we have some things coming up in the chat that I'll be addressing. Also, I have a weekday meditation group that I've been leading since March 17th, 2020. We're coming up on our second year anniversary, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And you can write me at this email address, and I will send you the Zoom link to that if you are interested. All right, let's see what we've got here. So, hi, Marlis. While doing this, I kept seeing the number 27. Any input on that, please? Well, that's a very interesting question. I often had folks who have asked me, I see a color or I see a face or dreamlike images, whatever it might be. And the way we approach that from the aspect of the Dharma, these teachings, is that this is simply another phenomenon that we can begin to notice. Oh, I'm seeing the number 27. I don't know if there's any significance in that. All I know is that it's happening, and that's what's happening right now. And if the mind wants to create some kind of significance, we can notice that too. Oh, look how my mind wants to know. Why am I seeing the number 27? Because even with eyes closed, we can have visual experiences. Sometimes they can, faces can come and go. Sometimes there's fireworks going on behind the eyelids. None of this is particularly important. It's just another thing to notice. Marlis, let me know if you need any more on that, okay? Thank you, Kelly, and thank you for your offering received this morning. Appreciate it. Hello, Barbara. Thank you. Very helpful, feeling peaceful. Me too. Hey, namaste. Martha, hello. Um, oh, thank you. May you live in the eternal presence always. Well, we always do. That's the thing about it, Martha. See, we always are in the eternal present. Now, some people might argue with that. They will say, "Wait a minute, the Buddha said that there's nothing that's eternal. There's nothing that everything is impermanent." Well, how do we know something's impermanent? Because we have something permanent to compare it to. There's something permanent, and in front of it, in the foreground, is all this movement. How would you know, that there was we pick up by the way, the eyes pick up movement through the change of light and shadow. So if there's no light or shadow, then we cannot really see either. So that might be a way to look at that. But yes, thank you very much. We all live in the eternal present. We're just not always present up here. Thank you, May. Good to see you. Nice way to start the morning. I'll agree. um, Rosalind was aware. I was being aware to accepting love in my next relationship. Yes, you can invite these things in. We can. You can let these thoughts come in. Of course. Hi, Eileen. I'm glad that the teaching's helpful for you. Good to see you. Eileen is one of our folks in the weekday Sangha that I've been leading. Um, Take my practice into my day today. Is this part is this part of the practice? Yes, this is part of the practice. It is the practice. Thanks a lot, Raj. Okay, I love that. That was my nickname as a child. Some people still call me Raj, not very many. Thank you. All right, Martha, good. I'm glad that was helpful for you. So you feel more open now. Okay. And the one of the promises of these practices, at least according to one of my teachers, Jack Cornfield, is the heart's release. The heart will open with these practices. And it may not be a dramatic experience, it may be very subtle, or it could be extraordinarily dramatic. In fact, it could be somewhat traumatic. But the experience of the heart opening is one of the aspects of these practices. There are no guarantees, of course. All right, let's see. Anything else? Well, I'll tell you what then. Why don't we adjourn to our Sundays or Mondays? Maybe you're already at Monday where you are in the world. And I will be back on the third Sunday of March. And I'd like to thank, of course, everybody here at the Mindful Living Collective, Elisha, Stephanie, Valerie, all the other teachers, and all of you for being here. You are the Sangha. You are the important part of this. Without you, there would be no need for me to be here. Oh, Pauline felt such a shift using the pause to practice and come back to the present moment. Yeah. Oh, hello, Ruth. That's my cousin Ruthie. Ruthie calls me Raji. Don't you, Ruthie? A little Raji. Hey, Dan, good to see you. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. I'm going to end the broadcast, and this, of course, will be available for you to view on YouTube or the Facebook page. Okay, my gratitude.